Hey, what's going on, guys? Fuck off, man. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Way Up Trading. Check it out. Today is just unbelievable. I'm still kind of in disbelief about the move that we saw on the SPY today. Unbelievable how things actually wound up playing out. We went from being crazily bearish on Friday with that major drop off from the 453 area down all the way to about 446 on the close. Wound up turning back around very aggressively today, closing at roughly about 451 at the end of the day. Crazy short squeeze actually wound up playing out toward the close of the day, and a lot of bears again getting roasted. It seems more like a bear trap at this particular point in time. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out, so I'm going over a few scenarios here, reworking the charts because things are looking a little bit different than what they were anticipated to be. So we're going to go over all of that and more, see what kinds of opportunities may lie still going long on positions in the next couple of days. But again, we're preparing for the downside just in case. We're going to do all that and more, lock this thing down. We're going to do all of that right after this.
Oh, I watch the stock market channel all the time.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up the SPY real quick. And on the SPY, this is the 4-hour chart looking like we actually were able to turn this thing around. Even though we had a nasty sell-off the other day, this thing is now turned around on today's price action, looking like it's potentially bullish again. You can see that we had a nice move off of our low, which is roughly at about $4, and off our low, which is about 448. 448 got a huge bounce to the upside. This upside move looking like it hit our optimal target, or heading towards hitting our optimal target, which is roughly about 451 and 31 cents. If it gets crossed, I can see some potential upside that goes a lot further than that. In an Elliott wave sense, we are back in the bull channel, and we're looking to potentially do a fifth wave move to the upside, which would land us somewhere around 458, believe it or not. If we take a look at this bull channel, you can see we've been in this thing ever since the beginning of June, which was a break to the upside, and we have now been snaking this entire way up. Had a couple of false breakouts of the wedge, which was immediately met with sell-offs to the downside, but more recently had this huge sell-off on Friday, which broke us out of the wedge. Now it's starting to look like a little bit of a bear trap, like I mentioned earlier on. And with this particular move from today, we consider this now a broadening bottom pattern, basically another fake out pattern to see which way it's going to go. And right now, being back into the bull channel, in my opinion, is going to be now looking like a bullish scenario. Until we lose this area, in my opinion, fully, we are not yet in a bear market. I would expect if we did lose this fully, break out, which I thought we did, basically retesting the bottom of the channel and start distributing down towards somewhere around that 4.4, 4.43 area, and then potentially down to the 4.30 area. But until we right now showing relative strength and a rebound in the market, somewhere around 4.57, 4.58 is still a possibility. So I'm going to turn on my Elliott wave analysis tool real quick. Now, this is the 1-hour chart, and this is again within this bull channel setup. You consider this move back in the beginning of at the end of June with the short squeezes that took place off of OPEX. Wave 1, bottom of the wedge. Wave 2, expansive wave 3, which was the move all the way to about 460 before being blown off. But aboard us wave 3, the end of wave 3 down to wave 4, which we just had a bounce off of, now looking to push to wave 5. Fifth wave looks like a 467 test just under the all-time high on the SPY. That would actually break the bull channel that we've been in, and then we'd see it move higher. From a harmonic standpoint, on a 1-hour chart, we're looking like a 921 cross has occurred as of today with that short squeeze move that took place toward the end of the day. We're now in bullish momentum, looking to go ahead and test the 200 moving average on the 1-hour time frame. Back within this bull channel, as we mentioned, this is off a bullish shark reversal pattern. We had a downside move that we were expecting to go ahead and hit the 446 area, but that was pretty much blown out the water. Bounce off of the smooth moving average right here, which is roughly about 448. You can see now momentum is start to turn to the upside, and now we're again looking towards hitting that 200 moving average. If that's crossed, our next target's going to be at 452.78. If we do find support and this thing continues to move up, it's going to 458. 458 would be target 2 that I have sitting up here, which would be the top of this broadening bottom setup that I have here. You can see I have the red line, which would be the resistance portion where we actually were rejected all the way back down, right at that smooth, the 200 moving average on the 1-hour. This will be our second test of it. If we break it, yeah, it's looking like we might go upward. All momentum seems to be on the side. Even though it's on lower volume, it is favoring right now bullishness until it's not. So we're going to keep an eye on this, see how this thing continues to move going into the next couple of days. It looks as if the way this is setting up is that a lot of folks are anticipating they're going to have bullish CPI and PPI data coming out. And that's kind of what I'm seeing this turnaround here. Apple has been one of the catalysts that actually drove the market to the downside. I do still see downside potential on Apple. However, the rest of the market seems to be holding up. Google was pushing today. Amazon was pushing back up today. So Apple's not the only large cap stock that's in the S&P 500. It's finding other support, other blue chips as well. So that's what I believe is actually carrying the market to the upside. Overall, let's go ahead and look at a couple of them at this particular point in time. Google had a nice day. It was about a 2.67% day. That's a huge move on Google. A lot of upside still available on Google to start testing the 133 mark to be the next level of resistance on a 1 hour chart. It did get a nice 921 cross to the upside in the 4 hour, and on the daily it still has an optimal target here at 136 to the upside off of its deep crab pattern after breaking all of these resistances on its large descending broadening wedge. So it is still in bullish territory. Had a downside move, retested the wedge, and has been rocketing higher. So a lot of opportunity still left on Google. Meta pushing 1.88% today. You know, it's just all over the place. Microsoft about 1% up. So these are actually carrying the market. Amazon 2% just about on the day, carrying the market to the upside. I don't believe that the upside is done. It's not, Apple's not the only stock that's in the S&P 500. Even though it's not doing well, it is one of the largest. You know, it's being supported. The moves are being supported in the market, and right now, even after hours on Apple, we're looking at just about a 0.15% move to the upside right now in the aftermarket hours. Overall, Apple's looking bearish. I definitely can say that. My next target to the downside, we're on the daily right now. I don't think we're gonna get this low, but it is possible. 167.97 on the daily chart. It would take a couple of days for us to get down there, but I believe 175 is probably gonna be our next major level of support if we don't hold this area over the next couple of sessions. So on the 4 hour, right now we are bouncing right off of the smooth moving average, which is a bullish reversal crab pattern here. Bullish crab pattern off the 4 hour, trying to bring this thing back up and hold support here. But if we do lose that smooth moving average, gray line here, which is sitting roughly at about 177.82, which just about the closing of the day. We set 178.85 as our close, which is a negative 1.73% downside move. If we don't hold that area, you can expect us to go hit 174 to be our optimal target before a potential reversal back to the upside. At that point, I'd be looking somewhere for call to about the 182.5, 180 mark, somewhere around there, to see if it's a possibility to grab some calls and play the upside move. That would make the target 185.33, target 2 190.25. So we're going to keep an eye on Apple. Apple is really the laggard right now overall in the blue chip sector. A lot of things do seem to be moving over into healthcare and healthcare rotation out of some of the bigger tech names. Even though it doesn't seem like it, but it does seem like the healthcare market is starting to pick up. Moderna was one of the ones that I jumped into some shares. So I'm going to look at that real fast here. I actually picked up some shares a little bit under $100 because I do see that this thing is going to be sticking around for a little while. Daily, you know, it had a pretty bad sell-off, but Moderna is one of them. We're underneath our optimal target here on the downside of $100.62. Was able to grab some shares at roughly about $98.51, so I'm already up on my position. But this is the area where I consider it to be the zone of reversal after leaving our harmonic optimal targets at the bottom. Anywhere past this area is a great location to start to load up on some particular shares, positions. Moderna is a slow one to move, so we're going to see how that works out. But over the long haul, I'm perfectly fine hold for a long term because of the fact that there's always going to be things of the healthcare sector that need to be worked out, and this is one of the bigger names. So in this case, this is just one of them that we're looking at. J&J was one that popped up as well. So we're looking at J&J as an opportunity. J&J did it actually pretty well today, roughly about a 2.4% day, finishing at about 173.10. I'm seeing upside potential still to put it on this thing to roughly about 182, which is the daily chart. 182 would be the next move to the top, but I am still seeing a opportunity to grab shares up until 174.95, and you can play the upside here. Again, slower moves, but you can see that the volume is steadily increasing on the upside, especially if the market continues to turn around and healthcare continues to be the new focus. You're going to still start seeing a lot of short squeezes happening on some of these names. Healthcare wise, huge moves that were happening on some of these stocks. There was one today that ran about 1,500% this morning. Crazy move from $1 to about $50 in a day. That one was VTGN. VTGN ran up. When I looked at it first this morning, it was roughly at about $60 this morning, and that was about a 1,500% move from the bottom, just out of nowhere, just blasted off. Not exactly sure what news took place, but at its height was a 3,558% move, finishing off the day from its lows of about $1 and change into a closing of about $13.05. So that was a huge move off VTG, and this is a therapeutics company. But these are the types of things that are possible right now in this space, healthcare. So we're just constantly looking around, trying to see if there are other opportunities on some of these healthcare names as well, while watching tech and stuff like that at the same time. These are the things that carry the market. So we do want to be cognizant of what's out there, what other opportunities lie out there. This keep our heads to the swivel to make some money on the way up. So pretty much that's the ones I'm looking at right now. We're going to continue to watch the markets. Remember, CPI, PPI is coming up over the next couple of days. Very important to pay attention to those things going forward, just so we can be prepared to play the charts the way they need to be played, make some money on this thing as the week progresses. So if you like more content like this, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button. Join us on the way up. We're going to be here every single day, growing our portfolios together, making the outcome income for 2023. Consider joining the Way Up Trading Group. We have a lot of good traders in there, learning, making money together, growing together, changing things for themselves in their futures. Link is down in the description for that. We have a free trial opportunity available there as well. So looking forward to the next video with you guys. Until next time, peace.